everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Layla and today I'm coming at you with the mid-year freak out book tag. Yes, I am super excited and I'm also constantly in a state of freaking out, so it just works. Everything works. God is good. Anyway, so I'm gonna go through all of these questions, answer them, and talk about the books that answer these questions. So the first question is, best book you've read so far in 2021? And the best book that I finished, because there's one I'm going to mention later that I haven't finished yet, but the best book I finished so far this year would be White Hot Kiss by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have talked about this book numerous times. The girl is half warden, half demon, will suck the soul out of anyone she kisses. Demons are after her. It's great. The first sentence is, there was a demon in McDonald's. Do you need anything more? And that's all I'm going to tell you because, as I've said, I've talked about this book a lot in other videos. The next question is a new release I haven't read yet. Well, that would be The Heart Principle by Helen Huang, and that is the same author of The Kiss Quotient and The Bride Test. Both books that I loved, and The Heart Principle is going to follow Kwan's love story, which, oh, I love Kwan so much. Loved him even more in The Bride Test because we got to know him in this one, got to love him even more in this one. But yeah, and the woman has OCD and I think anxiety. Don't quote me on the anxiety, but I know for sure she has OCD. And I'm just super excited to read about that because the other two books have had characters with autism. And yeah, I am super excited and I believe in Helen Huang. And that hasn't come out yet, so that's why I haven't read it. That is also my most anticipated release for the second half of the year, which is the next question. And fourth question is the biggest disappointment of 2021 so far. And that would be, and before I show you the book that is the biggest disappointment of 2021 so far, I want to clarify that the book itself is not a disappointing book, if you know what you're getting in for. I did not, so I was just disappointed in my feelings about the book. I'm not saying that the writer disappointed me and that the author was bad or anything like that. It's just I was disappointed in the fact that I did not love this book at all. And that would be Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. I did not like how this book went. I felt as though it wasn't a thriller. Like, it wasn't really thrilling. And it was supposed to be a thriller, but I did not find it very thrilling. And also, it took a paranormal turn that the synopsis didn't allude to at all. And I like my thrillers where the things can actually happen, because when things can't actually happen, that doesn't scare me. And I can like being kind of scared in my thrillers. And yeah, so I would have preferred to keep this in the real world, or at least it could have hinted to it in the synopsis. I didn't care for the twist at the end. I didn't really find it like shocking or anything like that. I got through this book because I was doing the challenge of reading 10 books at once, but I did not enjoy this one, which is sad because I did like 13 Minutes by the same author. 13 Minutes is about a girl who was dead for 13 minutes and she wants to figure out why. Her friends are like big suspects. And yeah, I like this one more. I think I gave this 4 stars, and this I gave 2 stars. My new favorite author. I don't think I have a new favorite author because the authors that automatically come to mind is Helen Huang as well as Sarah Hogel, which I've only read 2 of each of their books. Sarah Hogel, I only have 1 of her books because the other one I got from the library, but I will talk about all of them. So the first Sarah Hogel book that I read was You Deserve Each Other, and I absolutely love that. It was funny. I know the beginning sometimes gets people a little off because of the amount of complaining and how like they just don't fit together, but once you get like past the first 100 pages, you see how great of a book it really is. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was funny, and I love how dramatic the main character is, and we get things from her perspective, and it was so cute and wholesome, and I really enjoyed it. I rated that 4 stars. Again, that was You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. And this is Twice Shy by Sarah Hogle. This one I did not like as much. I'd give this one a 3.5 while I gave the other one 4 stars. But this one is about Maybelle, and I love Maybelle's imagination. If you've seen Jane the Virgin, she kind of has an imagination like Jane the Virgin, to where she can like see, I guess, cartoons and like all of that stuff. And basically her great aunt dies and she inherits a house. But when she gets there, she finds out that she's a co-inheritor of the house. And the other inheritor is a grumpy guy. And you know, like sunshine gal, grumpy guy trope is also really good. It's like kind of like a Hallmark movie-ish type of thing. As far as Helen Huang, her first book is The Kiss Quotient. And I love this book. Oh! I gave it 4 stars. Mine rounded up even higher. Like, I at first gave it like a 3.5, but now I'm like, it's not anything less than a 4. Like, because the amount that I thought about this book, and I thought about the couple afterwards, and when I was reading other romances, I would compare it to The Kiss Quotient, how much I love The Kiss Quotient and the couple. Yeah, the family dynamics in this book is so good. Like, I love Michael's family, and Stella was such a wholesome character. Like, the book itself is pretty smutty, to be honest, but besides that, the book is the most wholesome thing I've ever read. Like, it's kind of weird when I say it, but it really is. And the couple is just so cute, and they were literally made for each other. And just, I mean, the art, it just, oh, everything about this book is just, oh, it makes me so happy. And oh, I'm not even talking about what the book's about. So basically, Stella has Asperger's, and she is not good at relationships for that reason. So she hires a male escort to teach her about relationships and how that works. And obviously this is a romance, this is a love story, all that fun stuff. And then the next Helen Huang book is The Bride Test. This one I rated a 3.5, and it follows Esme and Kai. Kai you see a little bit in The Kiss Quotient. He's not a big character or anything. But yes, Kai has autism, and he honestly thinks that he has like no emotion really. He thinks that he is incapable of love, while his mom is out there trying to find him a wife. And so she flies Esme in from Vietnam and is like, here, like, just live together for a little bit. I think it's for a few months. Go to some weddings together for a little bit. And if you don't want to marry her by then, fine, whatever. And then Esme has a lot riding on this. And she gets to go to America, and she might have a better life and all of that stuff. And yeah. So I recommend all of those books if you're looking for some romance. But yes. But because I've only read 2 of each author, I don't know if I can say I have a favorite author. But those 2 could be getting there. Probably more Helen Huang. The biggest surprise of 2021 so far is the next prompt, and let me go get it for you. A Quarter Silver Flames has been the biggest surprise of 2021 this far. Honestly, this might become my new favorite book because I just love so many moments of this book. Like, it was so good. So good! And I was like not expecting to like it at all. And I'm just like, oh, I love it so much. Like, you follow Nesta and Cassian, and this is a fantasy romance, and Nesta is proud, swift to anger, and slow to forgive. The person who ignites her temper more than any other is Cassian, the battle-scarred warrior whose position in Ricin and Feyre's night court keeps him constantly in Nesta's orbit. And Nesta winds up having to live with Cassian to, like, get her act together, because her sister's like, get your act together, and like forces her to live with him and train. So you have like the close proximity trope and things like that. And also, like, I feel as though if you've struggled with like depression and PTSD, you can find Nesta as a really relatable character. And if you struggle with low self-esteem as well, Nesta will be a really relatable character for you, and her growth arc is really inspiring. And Cassian is exactly what she needs, and it's like, Oh my gosh, I was not expecting to love this book so much. And I was expecting it to be like super serious and all that stuff with like this cover and like the title. But it's a funny and it's, every time I open it, it's just like, happiness. But you have to sing it badly. That's the only way you can do it. Like, happiness. It's just, oh my gosh. And like, I've dog-eared so many pages. Oh, you can't see it. But I've dog-eared so many pages for this book. It is just so good. Like, I cannot recommend this book enough. Like, if you just want something that's going to make you feel good and happy. But I haven't finished it yet. I'm on page 524 out of like 750 something. Next is my newest fictional crush. And for that, I will be getting White Hot Kiss back out because Roth, girl, let me tell you about Roth. He is confident. He is hilarious. He is exactly what she needs. He protects her too. And it's just like, yes. 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 If you read this book for no other reason, read it for Roth. Newest favorite character. I don't think I have one. I'm going to name off a couple characters for this, starting with Alessandra from The Shadows Between Us. The Shadows Between Us follows Alessandra, who wants to seduce the king, marry the king, and then kill him for his wealth and power. And she just knows who she is. She lives her life so unapologetically. It's just so admirable, even though like she's a murderer and all that stuff. And because it says like in the beginning of the book that she's murdered somebody before. But yeah, she just knows who she is. She knows what she wants to wear. She knows what she wants to do. She knows who she wants to be with. She knows all of that stuff. She knows it. And she's not going to back down from anything. And I really love that about this character. So yeah. And also Nesta, because she can be really relatable. And her growth arc is just so real with how long it takes and how frustrating it can get. And she's sassy. And I love sassy main characters, honestly. And also, I have to talk about Sella from the Kiss Quotient, because she's just so wholesome. It's like she's like somebody you want to like put in a little bubble for the rest of their lives and just protect them. Yes. And then also Roth, for all of the reasons that I just mentioned. He needs no introduction. And I think that's it as far as my new favorite characters. Book that made you cry. I have not found a book that has made me cry yet. I mean, that's probably because I purposely don't read sad books. I just don't see the appeal. Like, I read to feel happy, not so it can like tear my heart out. All the books tear my heart out anyway, but not out of like depression, you know? And I'd like to keep it that way. A book that made you happy. I'm sorry, I keep talking about the same books for this entire video, but The Shadows Between Us. But for the sake of introducing a new book into this video, the poem The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman made me really happy. It just filled me with hope. And if you haven't heard of this poem or read this poem, this is the poem that was read at the most recent inauguration. And it fills me with all of these good feelings and like hope for the future and not fear of it. And it made me really happy. And it makes me really happy just thinking about it, but like a wholehearted type of happiness. The most beautiful book I've bought. Hello? 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 This is the sequel to White Hot Kiss, which I have still not read, by the way. I keep saying I'm going to read this book, but I don't know. For some reason, I still haven't. It's disgusting. But yeah. Hello? You see it? You see it? Hello? Like, ugh. This is so beautiful. And this is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I did read this book this year. I rated it 3 stars. It is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. We follow Heather and... Oh, sorry. Not Heather. Harper and Ren. And yeah, she's like kidnapped and taken to his castle. And he turns into a beast and stuff. But it kind of gives off like kind of Vampire Diaries vibes with how his curse works exactly. A little bit, at least in my opinion. And Harper is a really strong character. I like her. She's very sassy, but she's also willing to learn, and I like that. And she doesn't see the best of things, but she doesn't see the absolute worst of things. But she's not a realist at the same time. That makes no sense. But I liked her. Like, yeah. However, the pacing was a problem for me. Like, I like the romance, but the pacing was a problem for me, which is why I only gave it 3 stars. And my last prettiest book that I bought this year would be Pretty Things by Janelle Brown. I mean, oh my gosh, I just love this cover. I cannot get over it, to be completely honest. I cannot get over it. I simply can't. I can't get over it. It's just gorgeous. I love the contrast of the black, and then you have some blues and the golds. Ugh. This is about 2 wildly different women, one a grifter, the other an heiress, are brought together by the scam of a lifetime in a page-turner from the New York Times bestselling author of Watch Me Disappear. I got freaking 30 pages into it like over 2 months ago and just never continued. But the bookmark's still in here, so I might. And the last prompt that I need to answer before I wrap up this video is, what books do I need to read by the end of 2021? And that's a lot. Okay, so I'm going to name a few, starting with some that I haven't mentioned before. And first one is I Hope You're Listening by Tom Ryan. Oh, this is another beautiful cover that I love. I mean, the colors, it's the color scheme for me, to be completely honest. And like, there's purple. Yes. Anyway, this is about a small town 17-year-old girl who is known as the girl who wasn't taken because her best friend was taken. And then when she's 17, another girl is taken, and it looks like there's a connection. And I think she has a podcast or something like that. No, she has a true crime podcast called Radio Silent, which features missing persons cases. And she works with online sleuths to solve them. And I find this really interesting. And yeah, I love the cover and everything. I don't know why I haven't picked this up yet, to be completely honest. I probably will soon, now that I'm calling myself out in this video. Notice how my things are like bare now. Oh my gosh. Next one is Fable. Another gorgeous cover. Oh, love to see it. Love to see it. And, oh. I love it when there's actually stuff up under the dust jacket. Oh. And there's like, oh, there's a ship in her eyeball. You can't see it, but there's a ship in her eye. I didn't notice that. You have to be really up close and personal with a book. But this one I chose because I know it's an adventure book. And it says, welcome to a world made dangerous by the sea and by those who wish to profit from it, where a young girl must find her place and her family while trying to survive in a world built for men. I didn't even know this was a feminism book, but there you go. Another book I would like to read before the end of the year is Ninth House. It's a little thicker. I don't know how many, over 400 pages. There's like 450 pages in this, and this has dark academia. That's pretty much all I know about it, is that this girl, she was the only survivor of, I think, a car crash with her friends, and then Yale wants her. And they're like, hey, come to Yale, figure out the stuff about secret societies. And she's like, gonna do it? Another book I would like to read before the year ends is One to Watch. I've talked about this one multiple times, where a plus-size woman goes on a reality romance TV show, and yeah, I just think it'll be fun times. Haven't read that one yet. I don't know. I just haven't exactly been in the mood for it, but yeah. And I would like to read Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. I have never read a Gillian Flynn book / novel before. And this one is about, actually, I'll just read it to you because it's only like this big. Fresh from a brief stay at a psych hospital, reporter Camille Praker faces a troubling assignment. She must return to her tiny hometown to cover the murders of 2 preteen girls. For years, Camille has hardly spoken to her neurotic, hypochondriac mother or to the half-sister she barely knows, a beautiful 13-year-old with an eerie grip on the town. Now installed in her old bedroom in her family's Victorian mansion, Camille finds herself identifying with the young victims a bit too strongly. Dogged by her own demons, she must unravel the psychological puzzle of her own past if she wants to get the story and survive this homecoming. And this, I'm actually going to buddy read with a friend. I don't know when we're going to do it, but it's definitely going to be sometime before the year ends. And yeah, I'm not going to make any further commitments other than everything I have just committed to. And I still need to finish A Court of Silver Flames. So yeah, and that was the mid-year Freak Out book tag. I hope that you have enjoyed your time here. And I upload new videos every Monday at noon, so you can stay tuned. I live stream every now and then, so you can do some reading sprints with me. And as usual, link down below, I will have my Amazon wishlist, Barnes & Noble wishlist, as well as a few links you can go to in order to give others the gift of reading with your generous donations. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching. Bye.